What is going on, YouTube fam? Today I wanted to make a quick little video on tips to improve your gameplay consistently to help you and your teammates live longer in each game. And these are especially effective when you do solo queue a lot in the game. So I wanted to make a quick video on it to help out newer survivors, and if you're just coming into the game now, maybe these tips will help you. So a quick little disclaimer for you guys: these may not help you live longer. It depends on the killer you play or face, but some of these tips will help you advance in ways that I learned in my first 1,000 hours. So some of these tips may be simple and some may be more advanced, but for newer players it can be really effective for getting all the way to the end instead of the whole team getting killed very quickly. I'm sure you're tired of those games where you're the only survivor left and you're running around looking for hatch. So today we're gonna fix some of that and help you live longer in the game. So let's go. Alright, starting out with this first tip, it's waste the killer's time. As you can see, I'm doing a crap job at protecting this Fang as she is on her last hook before death. I am essentially trying to buy as much time as I can so he will chase me instead of hooking the Fang. Once he drops the Fang here and goes after me officially, I try to take him for a loop around Shack for a little while, which gives my team enough time to pick her up and heal her, and essentially giving me my first hook of the game. Little things like this will keep your team alive longer and may end up getting everyone out at the end of the game. Moving on to my second tip, sometimes immersion is the better option. Now, I'm not saying all the time. Most scenarios you should be running around and not urban evading around the map. Please don't do that. But listen, it is absolutely okay to be immersed sometimes. There are certain scenarios where staying hidden may put you in a better position than not. In this instance, I know that on my team I am probably the closest to this hook, so I wait it out, wait for the hillbilly to move around, go to a different survivor. Once I wait for the killer to leave, it gives me a free safe unhook. Now here is another instance where immersion is totally okay. I realize that one of my teammates are down and another is on hook next to him. If I get caught out here, it gives the killer a lot of pressure, so instead I wait for the killer to pick up. And that way she can't teleport to hit me when I get the save. Alright, now moving on to my third tip, it's going to be pushing through Hex Ruin. Now Hex Ruin is a fairly common perk, especially when you're just starting out in the game. It can be quite intimidating at first to go cleanse that totem so you don't have to deal with any regression on any gen at all. As I started this game, I noticed Ruin, but if I run around for it, I'm essentially wasting all that time giving the killer the momentum to go walk around and find other survivors and hook them. So I power through the gen instead, and as you can see, I barely finish the gen in time before he gets there, making it easier for my teammates later in the game. And as you can see, later in the game, we pop that Ruin after 2 gens, and he has no hooks up to this point, giving us a lot of pressure to finish out the game strong. The next tip we're going to be talking about is called quote-unquote hugging the wall. This technique DVD gamers call hugging the wall is a very basic but simple technique to use while looping. You have probably heard of this before from other streamers or gamers, but essentially it is rubbing your character's body against the object you are looping on. Wow, that sounded weird. The reason why this technique is so important though is because if you loop any object widely, it means the killer is slowly catching up to you. And when playing Survivor, you need all the distance possible. One wide loop can mean the difference between a hit, a down, or getting to the other side of that pallet, which makes all the difference when in chase. Unfortunately, I managed to actually get the same map. If I didn't hug on those cinder blocks while he was chasing me, I would not have been able to get another loop in, and I probably would have died. So it was very important that I did it here. And my fifth and final tip is going to be dealing with tunneling. Now listen friends, tunneling creates bad habits in this game, especially when it comes to killer. As soon as I run from off the hook here, the Freddy would rather chase me then get the 2 hooks right in front of his face. Now I can either complain about it or deal with the fact that all of my teammates got out in this scenario. There's always a bright side to tunneling. Yes, it's annoying to say the least, but it gives your teammates time to do other things like generators and be able to escape as long as you can loot the killer for long enough. If he would rather kill me than 3 of us, it makes them look worse as a killer than it does me as a survivor. But duly noted that it happens, and there's nothing to do about it besides get better at chases. At the end of the day, if a killer wants you out of the game, he will absolutely get you out of the game. And you have reached the end of my video today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like for me, and maybe think about subscribing. I will surely be doing more survivor tips in the future, and possibly also killer tips for better decision making. If any tip in this video helped you advance your gameplay, let me know in the comments. But that's all from me. I will surely be doing a part 2 pretty soon, but I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace out.